Before I talk about our game against Central Florida, we just found out literally in the last 15 minutes that our appeal was denied for Abdul. And so what that means is that he will be allowed to practice but not play, and he won't be able to practice until he has passed 9 hours in this semester. So our finals are the 5th through the 9th. And as soon as 9 of his units are posted, that he's passed those units, which he's going to pass 15. He's not going to pass 9. He's going to pass 15 hours. That's what he's easily on course to do right now. But needless to say, disappointing for Abdul and disappointing for our team and the players. He practiced yesterday, and I was just discussing with him. Now, he was inspiring his teammates. Like, first of all, he was the best screener on our team, period. Yesterday, though, there was one play where he's running down the floor, blocks the shot, coming from behind, running a guy down, and like as the ball goes out of bounds, like Mario's jumping on his back. He's so excited and inspired by just what a great play and how hard he played. So, there are good things ahead for Abdul and for this program, and I'm excited about that. Just disappointed it's not going to be this year.
What's the next step?
The next step is exactly what I just said. He has to finish his semester. It ends on the 9th of December, and then he'll be able to start practicing, hopefully, either the 10th, which I think it might even be a game. So it'd probably be that next Monday. But there are no other steps other than that.
When is he allowed to play in games?
A year from now. Yeah, he's not allowed to play this season. I'm sorry, I didn't make that clear enough, I guess. It's kind of, where it always has been. So in other words, we appealed, nothing changed. It's been exactly how it's been.
Moving forward to the upcoming couple of games, what would you like to see out of a team heading into the tournament that you maybe didn't see, or the momentum continuing from the home opener?
It's just, first of all, it's always one game at a time. So all I'm thinking about right now is Central Florida. We watched their game last night against Nicholls State. Nicholls State won at Boston College in their first game. Central Florida crushed them last night by 24. So Central Florida is very good. But for us, we've got to get better staying in front of the ball, playing without fouling. We've got to do a good job at rebounding. This is a very good rebounding team, and then they have, a very experienced, very much like Norfolk State, only these guys are more talented and better. They've got 2 fifth-year seniors and 2 fourth-year juniors that start for them, and then they have the 7'6" center that is a guy that you don't see every day. He had 16 and 16 last night with 4 blocks.
Hugh talked about having the nerves as a freshman and spoke with you when they just started playing basketball. What can you do as a coach to help those 6 freshmen with those nerve issues?
I think that's over now. Game 1 is over. We played in front. I mean, with every game, it becomes more about learning, getting that experience. But everything's it's going to be an experience. It's going to be it's a process. You have to go through as a freshman, and so that's what they're going to go through, this whole process. But because they're going to play so much, by the time we get to January, they're not like true freshmen. I mean, usually freshmen have to earn their way, and they're playing limited minutes. Well, not in our situation. And because of that, they're going to be much better off a year from now.
How can it help the team in practice? When he gets to practice, how can he make?
Well, just say how he's been doing. I mean, by competing, he makes it a lot tougher on his teammates when he's out there because he's physical. He's tough. Ask Q. I mean, Q took 2 screens yesterday where he actually one of them, he went down like a sack of potatoes. I had no idea it was coming because he doesn't move. And when he holds the screen, he's not like flinching or moving. He's staying right there like his 250 pounds of rock solid wall. Ask Q next time you talk to him. Coach is saying you got screened by Abdul. Tell me about that. I think he'll share with you. I mean, the guy plays hard. Ask Schneider. Ask EJ. I mean, it makes our practice more competitive. And then we're going to miss that for the next 3 weeks and 3 days.
How's IJ and is he still?
IJ, health-wise, was fine yesterday.
And Q, it was just the cramps. There was nothing more complicated than at the end of the game.
Yeah, it was just the cramps. I mean, he had a knee brace on because he tweaked his LCL, which we didn't talk about going the game because I didn't really like letting everybody know that we're playing against. He had that, and that still is there, but it's improving every day. And
how much will that experience going to Italy over the summer and playing in that closed-door scrimmage get those freshmen prepared to go on the road for the first time?
Oh, not at all. From the standpoint of it's a totally different environment. When we played in Italy, Greg will tell you, there was nobody there. We played in front of, the biggest crowd was 30 people. I mean, and I'm not saying there'll be huge crowds for the Mississippi State game against Central Florida, but if we play Charleston, for example, that's a real road game. And these kids have all played in high school. They've all played against their arch rivals. They all have a feel for that. It's just a different level when you get to college.
I saw on Twitter today, I was interested in your opinion of the NBA reviews 2s and 3s during the media timeouts. Would you kind of like to see the college game go to that format rather than trying to review it when it happens?
Oh, I haven't thought about it. I don't know. We have enough of a workforce to do that. I mean, there's we don't have a 30-second clock in Mississippi, I think, primarily because it costs money. All this costs money. So, if you, NBA's, I think their deal was $2.7 billion for the television. So they have a little money. Ideally, as long as they're checking it. I mean, think about where the game has come. Football. I mean, now you can check. Was he on the line? Was he not on the line? Did he have both feet in? Did he have 1 foot in? I mean, it's amazing. It's so much better than it was, years ago. And not just basketball, but in all sport. It's phenomenal. But it's just, can they do that? Do we have the technology? Who's responsible? How does that work? I don't know, but. Actually, it doesn't happen that often. You know what I mean?
Oak State's coach the other day was talking about it seemed like he thought that rule might get changed mid-season or something. Is that something that you think?
Which rule?
Just the fouling in the post and, what you're talking about, raising your arm and stuff. In his post-game presser, when he was asked about some of the foul stuff, maybe I just read it wrong. It kind of sounded like he thought that the rule might be changed, all those rules mid-season.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think when they do this, they let it go the whole year, and I don't think that's going to change. I mean, I think we have a different game in the NBA. We shouldn't be trying to turn our game into their game, but that's kind of what's happened, with a lot of these rules, in my opinion, especially the restricted area. Last year, if the guy was inside the restricted area and he was a second, you just run him over. It did not matter. The foul was on him, which, is why they did this. Leave your feet and go up straight. We won't call it, which is how they do it in the NBA. But I don't know for sure what their coach was talking about. He was a very good coach, I'll tell you that. They're very well, We're playing another team similar in terms of all the experience. I mean, they got all older guys except for Taco. And he's a big guy.
Yeah, Mario mentioned that he thought he played real aggressive defensively in that first game. How do you find that balance?
Which game, against Norfolk?
Yeah, how do you find the balance with these young players of playing aggressive defense or just doing the things they're supposed to do defensively?
We have to learn to play without fouling so much. Even this last game, we had 22 fouls. E.J. Datcher and Eli combined for 8 fouls in a combined 22 minutes. So we've got to get better at giving more of a gap and learn to play without fouling, but being aggressive at the same time. It's a real, and that's the key, is learning that, and that comes with experience. Getting used to this game, how the officials are calling the college game. As soon as you put your hand on a guy when he has the ball, it's a foul.
On Abdul, when he gets eligible next year, will he lose a year eligibility? Or will
No,
be
he has 4 years to complete 4 years as of next year. Very much like Chenway from the women's team. Chenway went through this exact scenario, also from Nigeria.
Just like
Yeah, Falou had the same thing. You're correct.
What can you take from the first game heading into your second collegiate game?
What I can take from it, I say, I think I went out there trying to be a little bit too aggressive on defense. So the one thing I'd probably take to the next game is just lighten up on D.
I think like test is just for you guys, pretty good competition in this tournament. How much you think, how different will it be than the opener y'all faced?
I think it definitely be different. I think it's just gonna be a challenge for all the freshmen that's coming in. It'll be something different, something new. But I think we are ready for this challenge.
How much are y'all going to rely on the trip to Italy? Because you have been on the road somewhere and you have played elsewhere. How much are y'all going to rely on that for this trip?
Well, I didn't get a chance to go to Italy, so I don't really know.
It seems like the last two games, both have, I don't want to say started slow, but it feels like you pick things up as you got into a groove as the game went along. How much of that is just sort of natural basketball, and how much of that is a lot of young guys kind of figuring things out as they go?
I mean, yeah, I was trying to figure the game out. It was faster. I was just trying to get the pace of the game. Really, the first two games, I feel like I got it now, and I think I'm ready to go.
You say too aggressive on defense. What were you doing specifically?
Like bumping and reaching and stuff like that.
That's something everybody has to watch out for this year with the way they're calling it.
Yeah, I think so. They really just changing the game a lot by calling fouls the way they do. But yeah, it's something different.
Is that different or similar to what you kind of experienced in high school?
No, I mean, high school, I was kind of bigger than everybody, so I got away with a lot more. But now everybody like the same size, so they're trying to keep it same on both ends.
How did you feel offensively in your first game?
I think I played kind of slow and really take the shots that I could have.
How do you try to take the momentum that 22 points in the first game into this tournament coming up this weekend?
We just gonna try to come out and play hard. I ain't gonna try to do nothing spectacular like I always say. I'm gonna be a team player first, and whatever happens, happens.
How was the actual game different from the scrimmages that you guys had played, whether it was in Italy or against Delta State or the closed door scrimmage?
I had to say that we just played hard because we knew this game right here would count on the schedule, and I felt like the first couple of scrimmages we had, all the guys wasn't playing as hard because they knew the outcome wouldn't matter, so we were just trying to play to get better. But I think we played very hard the first game because we knew it would matter on the schedule.
How do you get some of these younger guys ready to go on the road for the first time, or do you think the trip to Italy and the closed-door scrimmage will help them with that?
I think the trip to Italy will help them with that because we played in some very bad gyms, and all the gyms ain't going to be like Mississippi State gyms. So I think that was a good experience for them to see, like, all the gyms won't be the same. You got to play with different balls. So I think that was a good trip for us.
You were the first time last year as a freshman when you went away from Humphrey Coliseum and played. I forget, it was some tournament. I forget what it was, but do you remember that? Kind of what you thought as a freshman going on the road for the first time?
I'm trying to think what the first place we went. It was Puerto Rico. I was kind of nervous, making me be my first away game and things like that. But I'm trying to tell them that it's all the same. It's all basketball. So at the end of the day, just come out and do what you do. So I'm trying to get that through their head all this week before we head out Wednesday.
Mario talked about trying to be too aggressive on defense. Do you remember as a freshman trying to do too much, and if so, how did you kind of get over that and just start to play basketball?
Just listening to Coach Holland each and every day in practice, and just listen to what he got to say and what he think you should do on the defensive end, and just play the game. And you don't have to be all out there so nervous. And I think the big thing is the freshmen were kind of nervous this first night just because this their first real game and they wanted to perform so well, but they just got to calm down and just let the game come to them.
Did you feel those nerves as a freshman?
Yeah, I did.
How long was it before those nerves started to subside and it was just basketball again for you?
I say, once we got through like the first 5 or 6 games, I felt like it was just basketball again. I had a long talk with Coach Holland about it, and they were just telling me just play your game and what you know how to do. So the nerves went away after that.